You have to understand, bro, that when we talk about the moon, okay, the truth about the moon is the fact that I know, okay, from studying. First of all, you have to understand that, okay, the moon is nothing but what keeps the spell of the matrix over us. It keeps us rooted in materialism. Okay, let me say that again. The moon is the moon of Kingu. Okay, it's the Kingu meaning sleep, the spell of living thing. Okay, it keeps the spell of sleep over us. This is what has allowed us to be asleep for the last 5,000 to 6,000 years, y'all. Okay, this moon has been enforcing it. And for those of you who don't believe me, notice, man, the next time that it gets clear outside, that it's real sunny, because most of us who are avid sky watchers, we've noticed that the moon is normally, lately it's been in the sky all the way up until maybe 1 o'clock in the afternoon sometimes. We don't normally see the moon out like that on an everyday basis. But lately, this moon has been in the sky all day. Okay? It has been in the sky all day. All right? And so, first and foremost, you have to understand that it enforces the spell of sleep over us. Okay? Our ancestors being the Mayans, the Zulus, the Arcadians as well, they spoke on the time. The Porcelain, which they're going to speak on about the Porcelain in this video. I keep telling you, even the Porcelain, meaning the people before the moon, spoke of a time where there was no moon. At one point in time, there was no moon in the sky. I've spoken on this situation on several occasions. We've dug into it for the people who actually follow me on YouTube. Okay? If you ain't following me, go over to YouTube at I Am Awakened and follow me now. Okay? So, you have to understand that our ancestors have spoken on the time where there was no moon, okay? Now, the Zulu tribe said, they have their own story about how the moon was pulled into our atmosphere by these draconian reptilians who put the moon in our sky, where they actually dug it out. It's supposed to be a dragon's egg, okay? It was a dragon egg that they actually they hollowed it out and ended up pulling it into our atmosphere, which I won't go too deep into that story, right? They pulled it into our atmosphere. I'll talk about that on the stage, okay? But ultimately, on the page, the YouTube channel, okay? But ultimately, the moon was pulled into our atmosphere, okay? And before the moon was actually in our atmosphere, guys, you have to understand that there was no such thing as seasons. Seasons did not exist before the moon, okay? So the moon coming into our atmosphere is actually how we begin to have seasons. Before this, it was always like a fogginess, a mistiness outside, like a constant drizzle, okay? And the planet was very green. We had trees taller than what you see outside right now, which is nothing more than 30 millimeter bushes, okay? Those are not real trees. Our trees are very big, which they still have some in California at the Redwood Park, if I'm not mistaken, these sequoia trees. Okay, if that's the name, I don't know if it's a real name, but they have these sequoia trees at the park out in California, and they're way, you could not wrap your arms, you could not begin to wrap your arms around a sequoia tree. And if these sequoia trees are that big, imagine how the other trees were that we have that are very big, okay? So it was a constant mist, it was a constant drizzle outside, okay? And our ancestors said that you could not really feel the rays of the sun. It was just a hot mugginess, okay? We had a lot of verns, and the planet was way greener than what it is now, okay? It was more alive. The vibrational frequency of the planet was way higher because of this, okay? And so once this moon was pulled into our planet, it caused it to shift on its axles and caused all of that mist and drizzle to drop, which is where we get the context in the Bible of it raining from 40 days and 40 nights, okay? After it rained for 40 days and 40 nights and a great flood took place on the planet, this is when the ancestors say that they first saw the moon. So they attributed everything that took place to the moon, okay? It's concerning the flood, so on and so forth, okay? This is what happened. They contributed everything to that, all right? And also, before the moon came into the atmosphere, women did not have what we know today as menstrual cycles. They did not have those things. The moon actually is the cause behind the menstrual cycles, all right? And, they want to attribute the moon to basically all the cataclysmic events that take place on the planet, okay? So I will tell you this. You have to understand that the moon is nothing more than a draconian mothership. It is a mothership. Now, what is a mothership, okay? is just like Nibiru. Nibiru being a sun, a planet, and a spaceship. That is exactly what the moon is to the draconian reptilians. So if you don't believe that the draconian reptilians actually exist, this ain't the lab for you. Beat your feet. I'm giving you information that you could take and reteach your children, okay? So that you can start to dig deeper and find out what is really going on, okay? The moon is nothing more than a draconian reptilian spaceship. You have to understand, these draconians come from a planet called Meldeck, okay? Every reptilian being that you can see on this planet today comes from this planet, okay? They come from this planet. And on the planet Meldeck, they had 2 moons. They had 2 moons, okay? So them being here and getting caught in the magnetic field that was placed over us, they had to make the planet livable for themselves, okay? They had to make the planet livable for themselves. So this is my my thoughts on this. They had to pull the moon in, okay, to get what they got. So what they do is they sit in this moon and they're able to watch over the whole planet through the moon. The moon is a spaceship. Let's get that through our heads first and foremost. It's written in the Bible. It's Bible context. If you go over to my YouTube channel, I'm even giving you Bible contexts where even in the Bible they state it was a time that there was no moon for all of the people who believe, who vibrated the frequency of the Bible. Okay? The Bible speaks of a time where there was no moon. Okay? What Trish Jones say, so in other words, we shouldn't even be charging our crystals doing moon rituals. I will tell you this, man. You have to understand that everything has an aura to it. Everything has an energy to it. Even if it's innate, meaning that it's not alive. Your desk, it has an aura to it. Everything in this realm has a certain energy to it. Everything vibrates at a certain frequency, okay? See, the only difference between this chair that I'm sitting in and me, the reason I'm able to vibrate at in this chair, the reason I'm able to sit in this chair is because the vibrational frequency of this chair is slower than anything else, okay? It vibrates at a slower place and a rate, and that's what allows us to be able to see it. But when we talk about the angels, they vibrate so fast that we couldn't even see them because they on a whole nother frequency, okay? They on a whole nother frequency. They vibrate so fast, and this is why when they're trying to activate your DNA, this is why you hear those ringing in your ears, because they vibrate so fast. The only way you can hear them is through a high-pitched ring, okay? So yeah, the moon is not original to our planet, y'all. It's not original to our planet. However, say 2 weeks ago, the moon was so low, solstice, say winter solstice, I witnessed and took pictures. That's facts. The moon stay low. You feel me? Artista Jones say menstrual cycles blood is a food supply for them aliens and a source of gold. That's facts. That's facts, because they love that. They love it. She hit it right on the head. They love it. It's all about energy you put into it, baby. That's facts. Okay? Kingo Dano say everything is numerology. Okay? It's in the new movie Moonfall. I'm about to go see that, young Marlo. Your Marlo say it's in the new movie Moonfall, okay? I think we can charge it up at night because the crystals, the crystals will break because the sun charges me. Facts. You know what? I like to charge my crystals in the sun, bro. Or, I will put them, I have a laser light that I use to charge my crystals as well, right? But certain crystals you can't charge in the sun because it'll take the color out of the crystals, like amethyst and things like that. I like to charge mine in the sun, okay? Or, but the moon, some people do charge theirs in the moon. Some people charge them in the moon as well, okay? I'm going to go watch it. But with that being said, Theo Rose say you got to watch it. I'm going to go watch a reflection. But with that being said, let's get into this video. I want to see what he has to say about the moon, because the planet is starting to wake up, y'all. The planet is starting to begin to wake up again. We are in the age of Aquarius. Information is at its highest, okay? See, what they did not expect was the same technology that was meant to pull us down is actually helping us build ourselves back up at this present time and moment, okay? The same cell phones, the same computers that they meant to use against us in order to socially engineer us is the same source of the way that we're able to get our source of information. All right. So with that being said, let's dig into this video. Let's go.
Of evidence that says humans existed at a time before there was a moon in the sky. Aristotle said the Pelasgians lived in Arcadia at a time before the moon. He called these people proselynians, meaning those who lived before the moon. Anaxagoras and Democritus mention these same people as being before the moon, and so convinced were they of this fact that they had no problem relaying it as a part of their standard history lessons to their students of the time. Apollonius of Rhodes mentioned the time when not all the orbs were yet in the heavens, and only the Arcadians lived, of whom it is said that they dwelt on mountains and fed on acorns, before there was a moon. The ancient Illyrians...
Look, Daniel Love say, why do you think they want to cover the sun? I'm going to tell you why they want to cover the sun, Reflection, because they understand that the 9 ether beings on the planet, bro, we are the superheroes that they tell you about in the movie. They understand that the sun is going to genetically activate us to the point where there is nothing that they can do to keep us in a state of submission, okay? We are children of the sun. I've stated this on several occasions, okay? We are children of the sun, okay? In our bone marrow and our reproductive system, we have what is known as sun heat genes, okay? And what these sun heat genes does is what they did for us was they allowed us to live on this planet in a time where no other race of people was able to live on this planet, okay? This is what they did for us. The planet was too hot and dense for us to actually, for any other race to actually live on this planet, okay? And, you know, I'm not going to get too deep in that, but I did give you the gist of it. Let's get back to the basic of it all.
Were also proselynians whose records record a time before the moon. The 14th century Italian scientist Giordano Bruno echoes all of this. There are those who have believed that there was a certain time when the moon, which was believed to be younger than the sun, was not yet created. The Cordilleras believes there was a time with no moon, and they always to this day start their stories of ancient times with the phrase, before the moon inhabited the night sky. In Bolivia, there are pictographs stating the moon did not arrive.
I seen that Jessica Channel say the man who recorded the giant is dead. I seen it, y'all. I seen it, bro. Somebody actually sent me the obituary in my inbox. Okay? So, that's crazy, bro. That's another subject we're going to touch on. But yeah, if y'all seen that video where the man who exposed the giants that was living in, and a lot of people saying that those were the Nephilim, right? That was hiding, okay? So, yeah, it's a lot going on on this planet that they don't want us to know about.
The heavens until about 12,000 years ago. And strangely enough, there is a lack of ancient moon maps. Pretty weird given that the moon is a main celestial body and the brightest next to the sun. Philip Stuke of the University of Western Ontario couldn't understand this, and after a long search, the oldest reference to the moon he could find was what appeared to be a lunar map inside a tomb in North Ireland, dating back 5,000 years. He found a set of lines and dots that, when placed over a picture of the full moon, appeared to line up. So 5,000 years ago is the oldest reference to the moon. Again, where's the ancient lunar calendars? 3,000 years beforehand, the Sumerians were involved in astrology, but their moon...
Now, I will tell you this, okay? The original moon, which would have been the moon of Titan, okay? The moon by the name of Titan, okay, actually was taken from the planet, okay? Now, we're talking about the time of the original creation. We're not talking about the time of Genesis, meaning the gene of Isis, okay? You have to understand it's a whole story when we talk about the gene of Isis, okay? Because that was a story. Gene, I told y'all that when we talk about what Genesis meaning, the etymology of the word Genesis was derived from an ancient Greek word genos. It actually means to replenish, okay? To replenish or to reconstruct, all right? So when we read the Bible and when we're looking at the word Genesis, see, words are important. We have to dig deep into the etymology of every word that we read because, you know, they mean something with the understanding that the English word is not, the English language is not an original language in itself, okay? It's not what would be considered like a Semitic language, okay? When we say Semitic, we're talking about a language that derived from its own roots, okay? So we're talking about the Greek word Genesis only means to be the reconstruction, okay? So when we go past the reconstruction and the replenishing of the planet, when we go past Genesis, then we understand that when these, the Nibiru first came over, okay? To make a long story short, it ended up pulling these 4 ships called the 4 winds from this planet Meldeck that I've told you guys about, okay? It ended up pulling these, because it crashed into that planet and caused it to split in half. At the time, these Meldeckans, they thought that they were under attack, y'all, okay? And so they sent ships out to attack this spaceship, the planet Nibiru, okay? Not knowing that this spaceship was like way beyond its time, okay? Because it's a mothership, okay? It's big enough and it's the size of a planet. That's what motherships are, which is what the moon is, okay? So once it sent these spaceships out, these four spaceships out to attack this planet, Nibiru actually activated this gravitational pull and it sucked these planets in and caused the power to shut down on this planet. And to make a long story short, it drug it through the atmosphere and ended up being taken off its path because it bumped into, I want to say Uranus, whichever planet has the electrical storms on it, Uranus or Saturn, okay? It bumped into one of these planets. It came across it was having an electrical storm at the time and caused it to go off of its track, okay? And ultimately sent it toward us, which is the planet that we stay on, which was called Planet Chi at the time, okay? And so when it came here, you know, it was already, I'm talking about intelligent life living on this planet, okay? Don't let them fool y'all and make y'all think that, you know, we were dumbed down, okay? You have to understand that this planet has actually been replenished over 3 times. Okay, when we read the story of Genesis, we're actually reading the 3rd replenishing of the planet. It's not the beginning. Genesis does not mean the beginning. Okay, and so once it bumped into this planet, what happened was, once it came this way and they seen it coming, they thought that they were under attack. The beings that were staying on the planet at the time, the original man thought that they were under attack, so they sent ships out toward them and it was just basically a slight war, and you know, once it let go of its gravitational pull, it ultimately slung one of these planets into this planet, and it crashed into the planet. Okay, I can get into how I shot the light bolt into the planet, which gave the light to the inner sun, which caused the sun to form in the inner planet. That's another story. But it caused one of these spaceships to crash into this planet, right? And ultimately end up knocking a chunk out of the planet and causing it to go into the atmosphere, which created not only the Grand Canyon, what we know today as the Grand Canyon, but the original moon, okay, which was called the Moon Titan, okay? So at one point, it did exist, but at this time, we're talking about when we go back in our history, we can't say that it did exist, okay? So yeah, I have to give y'all a brief history on that. So
wasn't present until about 1,000 years after this Irish reference to the moon. Again, the moon is a very obvious body in the sky, so why would we have trouble finding ancient references to it? Well, because the moon wasn't always there. The moon displays a lot of strange characteristics that tell us this is not only a holographic projection, but one where strange activity is going on interdimensionally. The lunar wave has been shown by many YouTube channels. The lunar wave is a wave that crosses the entire moon consistently, like a constant loading sequence in a hologram. On many occasions, orbs of light have been seen surrounding and exiting the moon. These are either souls that are being recycled back into another body on Earth, or the false light beings traveling to and from. There's really no way to know, but the activity is strange. The moon is an implant, and
now you know what? I have heard the theory, man, that, and you know what? If you have any information on that, I'd love for you to send me the information on that. Because I've heard a lot of people, you feel me? I've heard a lot of people say that the moon was a recycling center. Even Rashad Jamal, he spoke on the moon being a hologram and a place where souls are recycled, okay? And they often tell you that, you know, when you pass away, this is why they tell you not to go to the light. They tell you not to go to the light because actually the light that you're seeing is the light from the moon, okay? And when you go up there, they actually, I guess, bleach your soul. They wash your soul and recycle it back out into the planet. And this is what, you know, reincarnation comes from, so on and so forth, okay? But if you got any information on that, please send it to me.
part of the moon's function interdimensionally is to create a false light trap upon our death. This is what some people refer to as the Pac-Man light. Our souls are eaten by the light just like Pac-Man eating the dots. Saturn is aiding in this process, and funny enough, we're told 2 of Saturn's moons has a heat signature representing Pac-Man. This is
wow, so that could be where they even came up with the whole theme of Pac-Man from. If I still got you here, man, and you learned something at this time, man, please go ahead and, share it. Don't hesitate to share it, man, so this information can get out to other people. If you're still here at this present moment, man, and you felt like you learned something, please share it. We only got 51 shares. There's 134 people in right now, okay? So please don't hesitate to share it, man. Let other people get this information, all right? So, yeah, I guess this is the theory that he's talking about, okay? This is my first time actually hearing this.
intentional and being rubbed in our faces. So our souls are locked in a dimension of control on this flat plane, and the false afterlife is merely a short break before being recycled back into this matrix. Before I continue, I'm not saying this is all doom and gloom. We have limitless divine strength to get out of this matrix, but the true light from which all source energy pours out through has been hidden from us. The Tibetan Book of the Dead is an instruction manual on how to navigate the planes of the afterlife. It says, "Be not fond of the dull smoke."
So guess what? This that knowledge y'all need. I'm gonna give y'all some time to actually take these down. The Tibetan Book of the Dead. I need to actually write that down myself, man. The Tibetan Book of the Dead. Because look, y'all, I be searching for knowledge. I'm gonna write this down myself. I told y'all this is my first time actually seeing this video. So we watched this for the first time for ourselves, man. Okay. Facts. Share, share, share. Ben Winter say share, share, share. For some people, man, it just hurts. It hurts to share something. They don't want to feel like they aiding the bed in anything positive. Okay? To feed these. Yeah, that's fact. She say to feed these a-holes here on the plane again and again and again. That's facts. That's facts. Let me go ahead and write this down. The Tibetan Book of the Dead. I wanna go ahead and read this myself. And we most definitely gonna cut up on this subject. The Tibetan Book of the Dead. Y'all take some time and write this information down. Tibetan Book. T-A-B-E. Okay. Yeah. For some reason, man, people they do not like to aid and assist, man. They don't like to aid and assist, man. I ain't sharing. I'm just going to hold up space. What I'm sharing for. 66 shares, man. I appreciate everybody who's actually out here sharing, man. Even the perfect, Shay Glow say, even the perfect father met the beast when he died, fought him and won. Still have to defeat evil after you gone. That's facts. You still do. Because you have to understand that all evil starts from a spiritual aspect, first and foremost. That's the first thing we need to understand. All evil, everything starts from a spiritual aspect. Okay? That's facts. Chase Gross, you say, I could probably get it and I'll send it to your Gmail, guy. That's facts. Thanks, Reflection. Thanks. Shay Glow say, even, okay, I got that one. Bruh say, I be searching for knowledge. My brother, me too. That's facts. We got to, bro. You know, we gonna, you know, even the Bible, for those of you who vibrate at that frequency, says, man, my people shall perish due to their lack of knowledge. The lack of knowledge is the reason that we should perish. It ain't no coincidence that they tell you if you want to have something from an N-I-G-G-E-R, where do you put it at? You put it in the book. Because majority of the people ain't going to read. They ain't going to read. They ain't going to seek the knowledge that's going to ultimately help them ascend. Okay? So with that being said, let's jump back into this, man.
Colored light from hell.
Let me start this over a little bit too, y'all, because I want to see what he's saying about this book. He's saying that this book is actually, it gives you information on how to actually travel through the astrals after death, okay? Let's look into this.
Divine strength to get out of this matrix, but the true light from which all source energy pours out through has been hidden from us. The Tibetan Book of the Dead is an instruction manual on how to navigate the planes of the afterlife. It says, "Be not fond of the dull smoke-colored light from hell. Remember the clear light, the pure, clear white light from which everything in the universe comes, to which everything in the universe returns, the original nature of your own mind." So the true light does exist, but has been covered up by the false light. Many people don't even recognize that they're infinite souls with infinite creative abilities, so upon death they're still attached to the physical realm and seek comfort in any signs that point to familiarity.
See, the first thing we have to understand is that the realm that we live in, the physical realm, is the lowest realm that we can stay in. In order to ascend from this realm, I'm talking about the best thing we can do for ourselves is to let go of everything that we desire, okay? That's the purpose. The purpose is to let go of desire so that we can ascend into the second realm, okay? Or to the next level, okay? And we're going to get into how these realms are also, you know, how they basically connect to the chakras as well. But in order to ascend to the next realm, the thing you have to do is you have to let go of the material realm. And letting go of the material realms will be letting go of the desires of this world. Okay?
Family members and friends are often seen by the light to help lure you in. These aren't real, though. The fact that a formless soul would remain in its physical form after death makes no sense. These are archons, or false light beings, making themselves into forms that you recognize. The near-death experience research...
Wow, we just spoke about this at the beginning of the lab when we talked about Mrs. Holla and how she say she saw her mother. But I'm gonna tell y'all something. Rashad Jamal ain't the only one who said do not go to the light. Okay. Say I had to look up this lab. That's crazy, Joanne. Joanne, just hit the three little dots on the side of your page, and then hit the receive all notifications. Even though a lot of people say that they cut these notifications off. But I will say this, right? Rashad Jamal was not the only person who spoke on not going to the light, okay? Actually, Bobby Hemmett said it first. He said, don't go to the light. He was a well-studied scholar as well in this area, okay? He was most definitely a well-studied scholar as well. And Haynes say, I know another book that does too, brother. Send it to me, Reflection. Send it to me. I always seek knowledge. A fool is the one who thinks he knows everything, okay? A fool is one who thinks he knows everything because he puts himself in a position to not be able to learn, okay? Information is endless. Knowledge is endless. You have to understand that, okay? But yeah, we just spoke about this situation with Miss Holla, right? When she said, when she was passing away, how she, and I hope, if Miss Holla has anybody that actually tunes into these lives, man, or these videos, that they don't take offense to me using her as an example in this video. But, we just spoke about this when it concerns her and how she said she saw her mother. And I'm really hoping for her soul that, it wasn't someone that was trying to lead her back into that false light in order to keep her into this realm. You feel me? So let's just, meditate on that situation, Reflections.
Foundation is the largest collection of near-death experiences on the internet. Do some investigating yourself. You'll find that overwhelmingly people state that they were drawn to the light or pulled to the light. There is some type of pulling action going on, and for the majority of people, it seems they have little control over it. Many people find themselves going toward or being pulled into the tunnel like a magnet. So I speculate this light trap has gotten more and more powerful and efficient since the Tibetan Book of the Dead was written.
That's facts. Not everyone is going to have the chance to be able to ascend, because the ones who have sold their soul, you ain't going to be able to ascend no way. You feel me? You ain't going to be able to ascend no way. So you can kiss that shit goodbye. You feel me? Let's see. And I want to let me tell Facebook, this is for fair use only. It's for fair use only, okay?
It seems they have little control over it. Many people find themselves going toward or being pulled into the tunnel like a magnet. So I speculate this light trap has gotten more and more powerful and efficient since the Tibetan Book of the Dead was written. Upon entering this light, we receive a life review and are told by false light beings posing as our rulers that we must reincarnate to Earth to rework karma. This is 100% bullshit.
So look, let me tell y'all something. It lets you know how much they know that they have not told us already. And this is why when it's people who actually come along, such as myself, Rashad Jamal, Bobby Hemmett, and many other people who I may not be speaking about on this lab, that does not mean that, it's not people other than them. This is why it's so dangerous for us to be informing these souls of this, okay? Because they know a lot. They already know a lot, y'all, and they trying to keep us from knowing this information so that when we transition, bro, and we go, to the light, we gonna go back into that light. They know exactly what's going on. It lets you know how deep technology is and how, what's going on. Because you have to understand, for them to even know the information that they know, it tells you that they're working with these other extraterrestrials or even the interterrestrials. Okay? It tells you that.
To get back to source, back to our original bodies and not stuck in this cycle of death and reincarnation. We're told there's a soul agreement or mission that we must fulfill on this physical plane. Why do these beings want us recycled? So we can remain energetic food for them. Archonic beings and reptilians who run this matrix need us. The Archons survive off of our negative thought forms, and the reptilians survive off of our blood and our children's blood. John Grace, an ex-CIA operative, wrote under the name Val Valerian in a series of books called Matrix. His material has a lot of truth in it, but it's also mixed with lies, like all disinformation activists. He does reveal, however, the afterlife's tricks as required by the laws of lesser magic. In Matrix 5, Valerian writes, they want to recycle spirits into another productive incarnation. Hence the light and tunnel at Death Trap. Scanning someone they wish to recycle as they near death, they discover who the person was close to has died. They project the person's image in the white light tunnel, and the image waves you in deeper. If you choose to follow, you can be trapped and sent to another incarnation of their choice.
Danielle, you're going to have to elaborate. Danielle Love say the light isn't all bad either. From experience, it will protect you if your energy is pure. I don't see how it's going to protect you if it's constantly putting you back in a position where you can't go to that from which you came. If you cannot go from that, back to that from which you came, then that means that ultimately you're not going to be able to allow your soul to go on its next mission, to be able to evolve, which is the purpose of even incarnating in any realm that you choose to incarnate in. Okay? So I don't see how that could even possibly be, not saying that you're wrong, but that's something that, we would have to look into furthermore.
Hidden in plain sight is another name for lesser magic. The laws of lesser magic entailed that the evil acts done on this plane can be...
Y'all do me a favor, drop them names, man, because Kentrell Powell was saying that the live is froze. Kentrell Powell was saying that the live is froze. Drop them names if y'all still able to see what's going on. Okay?
Balanced out as long as the...
Let me do this over because I want y'all to get everything. I'm going to go back just a little bit because I don't want y'all to miss anything. Go back a little bit.
I speculate this light trap has gotten more and more powerful and efficient since the Tibetan Book of the Dead was written. Upon entering this light, we receive a life review and are told by false light beings posing as our rulers that we must reincarnate to Earth to rework karma. This is 100% bullshit. We need to get back to source, back to our original bodies, and not stuck in this cycle of death and reincarnation. We're told there's a soul agreement or mission that we must fulfill on this physical plane. Why do these beings want us recycled? So we can remain energetic food for them. Archonic beings and reptilians who run this matrix need us. The Archons survive off of our negative thought forms, and the reptilians survive off of our blood and our children's blood. John Grace, an ex-CIA operative, wrote under the name Val Valerian in a series of books called Matrix. His material has a lot of truth in it, but it's also mixed with lies, like all disinformation activists. He does reveal, however, the afterlife's tricks as required by the laws of lesser magic. In Matrix 5, Valerian writes, they want to recycle spirits into another productive incarnation. Hence the light and tunnel at Death Trap. Scanning someone they wish to recycle as they near death, they discover who the person was close to has died. They project the person's image in the white light tunnel, and the image...
And the reason I could believe that they discover who the person was close to before they transition, because, I just lost my train of thought, y'all. But I could totally agree on that, man, because, they do a lot of studying, bro. They study us a lot. I'm going to get back to that. I'm going to get back to that thought. I just lost my thought, y'all.
Scanning someone they wish to recycle as they near death, they discover who the person was close to has died. They project the person's image in the white light tunnel, and the image waves you in deeper. If you choose to follow, you can be trapped and sent to another incarnation of their choice. Hidden in plain sight is another name for lesser magic. The laws of lesser magic entailed that the evil acts done on this plane can be balanced out as long as the truth has been shown to us via riddles, media, symbols, and more. The DreamWorks logo sequence shows a boy sitting on...
Who is they? Kiara Berry say, who is they? The powers that be. You have to understand, bro, that we don't live, bro. This realm that we stay in is bigger than what you think it is. It's way bigger. It's way bigger than what you think it is, okay? So it's people that's in high places, okay? Spirits that are interacting with this world that don't want you to ultimately transition. Okay? They want you to stay right here for the purposes that he's saying right now, because you feed other people. Your energy feeds other people. And this is why I say when we talk about the situation that happened with all of these celebrities ultimately transitioning, for those of you who don't understand what I mean when I say transitioning, I mean passing away. When we talk about not even celebrities, but people such as Shanquilla Robinson and other people who are on a level of life that we stand at this moment, actually transitioning, it's all about the energy harvesting. When they push it into the media, the way that they push it into the media is so that they can absorb your energy. They want you to feel a certain type of way about it in order to feed these other beings that's on the planet that need your energy in order to survive. That's what it's all about.
On the moon, fishing in the water.
That's facts. Jizzle Wilkins say the 13 bloodlines. That's facts. That's who.
The moon has nothing to do with the works of dreams. This boy is fishing for souls. We're told through many movies not to go into the light.
If you see a long tunnel, stay away from the light.
Wow. I grew up on the Portuguese, whatever the name of that movie was, and I never even thought about it from that aspect. See, I keep telling y'all, bro, they give us this in the movies, right? They tell us in the movies what we shouldn't be doing, right? But they leave it up to us to actually have to dig for that. You see how these movies are saying, don't go into the light? Since we were children, they've been telling us not to go into the light. But we couldn't comprehend it. We could not comprehend it. It's crazy.
No, hurry, no! Don't look at the light! I can't help it. It's so beautiful. What is it?
Right, the poltergeist.
It's so pretty.
I'm feeling happy, which is a big deal for me.
I want to touch it.
Ooh. Hey, come back. Come on back here.
I'm gonna get you.
I wanna get you.
I'm gonna get you.
Swim with you.
I'm gonna get you.
I'm gonna be your best friend. Good feelings going. That light, the end of the tunnel, guess what? That's not heaven.
In the Lego movie, Cloud Cuckoo Land is said to have no negativity and no...
Wow, they said light at the end of the tunnel. Guess what? That's not heaven. 4D say I'm still frozen, man. Y'all drop them names, bro. Because I think right now, I think it's something wrong with your 4D. I think it's something wrong with your computer, all right? Sandra say if your heart is lighter than a feather, you will move on. But if your heart is heavier, you will come back. That's something to look into. That's something to look into.
Unhappiness, just like many near-death experiences discussed in the light. This is all energetic manipulation. In the background, we see the all-seeing eye, and all throughout Cloud Cuckoo Land, there are lights that are mesmerizing and many spinning wheels like used in hypnosis. It's revealed that the unicorn is hiding all of the negativity with a positive demeanor. This represents that the false afterlife is meant to trick us. It's malevolent at its core, but hidden within false love. In the 2005 movie The Island, before their birth on Earth, clones are created in pods and programmed via light and hypnotic suggestion that they are special and have been chosen to go into the island, which is powered by a holographic grid. You're special. You have a very special purpose in life. You've been chosen. The island awaits you. This is akin to the many near-death experiences where the experiencer is told that they have been chosen for a special mission. These are soul contracts that we are being coaxed into agreeing to. The idea of archons using us for energetic food is shown in movies as well. In The Host, the human race has been taken over by small parasitic beings called the souls. The soul...
They say they freeze the people last so y'all won't get that information. Yo, that's crazy. Let me hear what he was just saying about this. I'm going to go back just a tad bit, y'all.
Light and hypnotic suggestion that they are special and have been chosen to go into the island, which is powered by a holographic grid. You're special. You have a very special purpose in life. You've been chosen. The island awaits you. This is akin to the many near-death experiences where the experiencer is told that they have been chosen for a special mission. These are soul contracts that we are being coaxed into agreeing to. The idea of archons...
Hold on, let me see what you said. What about the soul contract?
Very special purpose in life. You've been chosen. The island awaits you. This is akin to the many near-death experiences where the experiencer is told that they have been chosen for a special mission. These are soul contracts that we are being coaxed into agreeing to. The idea of archons using us for energetic food is shown in movies as well. In The Host, the human race has been taken over by small parasitic beings called the souls. The souls insert themselves into host bodies and are able to access the host's memories. In Monsters, Inc., we're told that we have monsters assigned to us at birth. The future is bright at Monsters, Inc. We're part of your life. We power your car. We warm your home. We light your city. Carefully matching every child to their ideal monster to...
Joanne Jojo Sherry say, I sent a message in Messenger, but it won't let me speak to you personally. Can you send me a message through Messenger? I am awakened. Let me tell you, Joanne Jojo, they don't allow me to just jump in people's inboxes. In order for me to reply to you, you would have to have come through my inbox first. It's a lot of things that they don't allow me to do using this inbox. I can't do video chats. I can't do video, like voice messages. It's a lot of things that I can't do from this end. So.
The souls insert themselves into host bodies and are able to access the host's memories. In Monsters, Inc., we're told that we have monsters assigned to us at birth. The future is bright at Monsters, Inc. We're part of your life. We power your car. We warm your home. We light your city. Carefully matching every child to their ideal monster to produce a superior scream refined into clean, dependable energy. Clean, dependable energy, meaning our fear, our negative energies which are fueling these beings. The fact that we live in a fabricated reality inside of a dome is shown in movies too. In the Truman...
Hey, you know what? That does make sense. Adam Walter says it makes sense. It makes sense of water. The state of our mother gave our birthright up, which made a deal with the Vatican Church. That's why it's a contract. She's talking about the birth certificate, y'all. That does make sense. I think that we need to reevaluate this whole birth certificate thing, okay? And the reason I say that is because, you know, we all know about the stick man, okay? I don't know how many of you actually know about the stick man, but the stick man is the reason that you get basically all of your mail in all capital letters, because it's a representation of the false person that is you, okay, which is the corporational part of you. And you have to understand that, you know, we've been taught that we haven't been taught. We've had to dig to find out that our own government has sold our birth certificates to other states in order to pay their debts off. Okay? And so, I don't know. Let me see, y'all. Let me see what's going on. Now I'm froze. All right, we back. We're going to get a look closer up on this. Let's see. Now y'all seeing what's really going on in my stool.
Show, Jim Carrey plays Truman, a play on words for the true man. He lives in a false world.
Yeah, as I was just saying, you know, we all know about the stick man and how they gave they actually gave our, they said that, well, they gave our birth certificates up. Well, the reason we have birth certificates is so that our government can pay back, I guess, pay its debt off, okay? Because, you know, they had debt, so they used us to pay debt back, okay? And this is why we get all of our letters. Our letters are in capital letters, okay? Because unbeknownst to us, you know, every time that we sign our signature or whatever it is that we do, we give into this whole stick man thing, okay? But yeah, but this is something more deeper than what I think about that. To be honest, they threw me off track with what I was saying, okay? Yeah, but this is deep. I like that. I like that. That makes me want to dig into it. It could be possible that our mothers did give our birthright up at birth. And when she signed that, unbeknownst to her, she signed that birth certificate. That's crazy.
The fact that we live in a fabricated reality inside of a dome is shown in movies too. In The Truman Show, Jim Carrey plays Truman, a play on words for the true man. He lives in a false world, a hoax perpetrated from the lunar moon room. His life is a movie set. I want to mention that some say the Egyptian god Set is synonymous with Satan. So Truman, at the end, trying to escape, sets sail only to collide.
Hey, you know what? I wish I had the whole video on that because this just took me for a loop. I'm not going to lie, y'all. This took me for a loop because, to be honest with you, you know, that's my first time actually digging into that. And I'm going to have to go ahead and dig into this book, the Tibetan Book of the Dead, right? Because, y'all, I've you know, from my knowledge in terms of what the moon is, bro, you know, I've heard Jamal Rashad speak on the fact that the moon was basically a soul harvesting station, okay, that took them in. That's basically what he was saying, that it's a soul harvesting station, and it kind of makes more sense. It makes sense, and it's deep, bro. We got to understand it, bro. There is nothing that we truly know about what's going on in this realm, okay? I mean, the only way we're going to actually know is if we dig into the knowledge that was left behind for us from our ancestors, and two, that if we do the meditation that is necessary in order to actually, you know, go within and find out for ourselves, right? Because, you know, they know so much more than what they tell us, okay? They know way more than what it is that they choose to tell us about what is going on in this planet. They know more about the souls. They know, bro, they have all the right knowledge. They have all the right knowledge while they feed us all the BS through all of the falsehood that they've been giving us. Okay? And it's sad, y'all. It's sad, but I ain't gonna lie. This video most definitely enlightened me today, man, because as I said, I didn't even watch this video before I came on here. I actually waited for y'all. I waited for y'all, man. So I'm gonna ask you before I go, man. We got what? 75 shares, man. If you enjoyed this content or this subject or this information that you learned today, man, please go ahead and share it, man. We got over 130 some people in here. Okay? Over 150 people in here. I'm asking if you like this, man, please, please, please say forbidden knowledge to homie. Oh, yeah. We most definitely, Jizzle Wilkins, we know all about Billy Carson over here. We most definitely done tapped into Billy Carson. He most definitely is one of the brightest guys that I've met, okay? But if you learn something, man, go ahead. If you learn something from this situation, man, please go ahead and tap in, you know. Please go ahead and like and share this video, man. Like and share this video. Okay? Shahari Lee says, I once saw the moon retract last year and then go full in a matter of 5 minutes. Wow. But you know what? I'm going to tell you one thing that never sat right with me with the moon, y'all, is the fact that it has a shadow side, okay? How is it possible that this moon is able to have these times where it's not full, where it's a quarter moon, where it's a half moon, where it's a crescent moon? How is it possible for this moon to do this? It's as if a light switch is being turned on and off, okay? We know, one thing we know for sure, and two things. One thing we know for sure is that the moon is fake, okay? NASA even spoke on the fact that they sent a molecule out to the moon to hit it, and when it actually hit the moon, it rang for 3 hours like a bell. So if we don't know anything else, we know that the moon is fake. Okay? We know the moon is fake. And a lot of people who study astrophysics, man, and I don't know if I'm talking about the same thing. I can't even think of the proper wordplay for it, but a lot of people who actually study these things will tell you that the moon is too big to even be in our atmosphere when we compare this moon to other planets, okay? When we compare this moon to other planets that have moons or other moons on other planets, we know that their planets are actually bigger than ours, and they have moons smaller than ours, okay? So they're saying that there's no way that this planet can actually be orbiting around our planet where it should not be orbiting around our planet without falling and crashing into the planet because it's too heavy to even orbit in our atmosphere, okay? So that's how we know that the moon has to be some form of technology that was placed in here. We know what it does, okay? It controls the weather. We know that for sure because the ancestors say it was no such thing as seasons before the moon came into our atmosphere. All right? So we know that to be a fact. All right. Now we have other scientists saying that the moon is basically an anomaly. Anomaly. It's an anomaly. Okay. It's a tongue twister for me, y'all. But yeah, it's an anomaly. They're saying that the moon should not exist. The moon should not exist. NASA is most definitely in on it, okay? But it's certain things that creep through the hole, okay? They even talked about the fact that the moon has like fake dust on it, okay? The moon, the dust, the rocks that you see on the moon is not real. We have to ask ourselves, y'all. At this point, we have to ask ourselves, what is this that we're in, okay? Where is this? What realm are we in? We have to ask ourselves this, y'all. Like, at this point, man, it's freaky to even know that something that you was raised to believe that has been here since the beginning of time is not real. That should be something that raises more questions. It should be something that raises more questions in itself. Okay? So at this point, if you're not asking questions, then it's evident that you just want to remain a part of the matrix. You want to remain stupid. Let me just say it. If you ain't asking questions, I just said, I've even explained to you guys how the clouds are fake. The clouds are not real. So therefore, we understand that everything in this realm is fake. The snow is not real. We know that they have cloud seeding machines. We know that when we see these planes in the air that are leaving chemtrails behind, that they're actually forming the clouds. Okay? We know that these seed clouding machines that look like barrels actually shoot flares into the skies and release what is known as silver iodide, and it causes a storm to be created in the cloud, okay? And this is what you see when you see the cloud turning gray. When you see the cloud turning gray, so let's just say clouds are approaching you because they are always traveling. When they're gray like that, okay, this is because that storm is formulating inside of the cloud, okay? Ain't nobody ever found it funny that it was possible for us to smell rain? I've always found that funny. How can we even say that we smell rain? Don't mind me, I don't trust nothing. How can you say that you really smell rain? You feel me? Shy Glow say this ain't the time to question. Let your good outweigh the bad. Seek knowledge and don't go too high and mighty. Oh no, we ain't never gonna go too high and mighty, but we gonna deal with the facts. We most definitely gonna deal with the facts. And the fact of the matter is that science is nothing but observation. Okay, and through observation, I actually witnessed these chemtrails that they say that these planes are leaving in the sky. I've actually witnessed these chemtrails leave, create planes. Create clouds. Okay, I've witnessed. I know that they shoot flares into these clouds and release silver iodide in them, which ultimately determines, depending on how much is released into these clouds, whether it's going to snow, how much it's going to snow, or hail, or if it's going to be foggy outside in the morning, or whatever the case may be. Okay, I've actually, if you go back down my lab, I've actually taken the snow and burnt the snow on live. Okay. I burnt the snow. So we dealing with the facts, okay? We not going high and mighty. We just dealing with the facts. That's it. That's all, man. We dealing with the facts. And at this point, man, it is. You should question because guess what? This is the way that we learn, Shy Glow. We learn through asking questions, okay? You will never learn anything if you don't ask a question. Even if you're not asking me or someone around you a question, then you should be asking yourself the question. What is snow? Is snow real? You should be asking yourself this question. How did this moon get in our atmosphere? Okay? The reason we can tell you, people like me and this guy that's done his research right now can tell you that the moon is not real is because we have asked ourselves the questions. We've asked the questions. We've asked ourselves, what is this? What is this moon? What is the moon? How long has the moon actually been? And through asking that question, we actually went to go do the research, okay? We did the research, and then through doing the research, we were able to discover that people, our ancestors, said that there was a time that there was no moon. Okay? So, the first thing we want to do is ask questions. You feel me? We need to most definitely make sure that we asking questions. You feel me? So, you know, and she said, God said, let my people go. We stuck. We stuck here, y'all. The only way we getting out of here is through a portal, okay? That's a fact. I don't believe that anything. I've told y'all about these beings that came through the portal in 1952. We see CERN, what CERN is doing right now. They working on the portal. This portal has been opening up every 10 years, okay? They understand that in order to get out of here, we got to go through a portal. Because these beings that is actually coming from these other galaxies and things like that, they're coming through the portals. Ain't nobody actually went up and out this dome that we stay in. They coming through the portals, okay? From these other, right, Messiah gang say, who did the work, seek and find. You feel me? They coming through these portals, man. Facts. Howard Harris say, lack of knowledge is one of our main weaknesses. And that's the biggest fact ever. The lack of knowledge is one of our main weaknesses, man. Y'all please go ahead and share this, man. Share it up, man. So, you know, ask questions. Ask as many questions as you can. Think of as many, because what do you have to understand? A great researcher, that's the biggest part of doing research. The first thing that you should do when you're talking about researching something is ask a question. You should be asking a question first and foremost. Okay? That should be the first thing. You feel me? Patricia say, I have never liked the moon. All of my life, I never knew why, but I do. But now I do. Just like I've never liked any church and buildings. That's facts. The universe has its way of bringing things to the light. You feel me? It has its way of bringing things to the light. But yeah, y'all, we need to ask questions. Let's not fool ourselves to the point where we think that we should be asking questions, okay? But the fact of the matter is, I discovered something even watching this video, because I didn't even take the time to actually watch this video before I went live. I just said, hey, like I said, I had a whole nother live for y'all tonight. It was going to be dealing with something way deeper, which we will be getting into. I just got to figure out how it is I'm going to get this context, or this content to be able to show up on here. But don't worry about it. I got it, because I want to touch on that situation as well. But yeah, I felt like, you know what, I needed to bring this to y'all, man, because it's so many people, man, that's doubted me when I said that the moon was not real. And this is because they have lacked the ability to ask themselves the question of what was the moon, okay? And I'm not blaming them, because I understand that we have been taught to think that the moon was here forever. We thought that the moon was here before, it started with the planet, okay? So that's why we didn't ask the questions. And you have to understand that this is what school was for. School was to be able to indoctrinate us and to keep us teaching the kids the falsehood and so on and so forth, okay? But at any moment when they decide to say, okay, well, we want to drop the ball on the whole situation and change the whole narrative, they're going to start teaching it in school first. The school system is the biggest thing that they can use in society to this day in order to indoctrinate us and keep us asleep. Then I would say it would be the boo tube, the television and the phones right now. The television and the phones is going to be the second thing when it comes to our children. See, they don't care about people like me and you. They don't care about the adults, because they understand that the children are the next generation, and the children is what's going to keep people asleep. Okay? So they ain't worried about us. They worried about, you feel me? You feel me? That's who they worried about. So, the best thing we can do, like I said, man, I'm always say this, man, the best thing we can do is try to get schools to re-educate our children, okay, and keep them away from the electronics. First of all, we need to be soaking up as much information as we can so we can begin to reprogram our children, first and foremost, okay? Because it starts in our home. We can start, if we can't start nowhere else, we can most definitely start in our home with reprogramming our children on our own. You feel me? Yeah, we can, Daquan. We can stop them. But how we stop them is through educating, re-educating our children. I don't even like to use the word educating, right? Because I understand that the etymology of the word education means to basically train or to mold. But if that's the case, we need to start retraining and molding our children on the truth. Okay? So no matter what it is, we need to take our children out of the school and start to home train them. Give them the information that we want them to know. You see what I'm saying? Give them the truth, the true knowledge, the right knowledge, as Dr. Malachi Z. York like to say. You feel me? That's what we need to do. You feel me? So with that being said, man, Y'all please go ahead, like it up and share it, man. And if you have not been following me on YouTube, please go over to YouTube and follow me. All of my videos that I've done, I'm uploading them every day, y'all. I'm uploading them every day, so bear with me over there. But any video that you want to see over here, or you think that you have missed over here, if it's not over here, it will be on YouTube, okay? Also, we're going to be doing a lot of live lectures over there as well, right? So make sure you following me over there. If it's not uploaded already, it will be uploaded in the near future, right? Also, make sure you're following me on Instagram, okay? At IamAwakened_chosen1. We're going to be doing healthy eating over there, and we're going to also be doing a lot of working out. So if you're interested in trying to get your body in shape, for those of you who need their body worked out, I know I'm one of them, okay? Just within the last couple months, I've gained a lot of weight, all right? If you're interested in learning how to eat correct, or, in terms of like, from a vegetarian standpoint, to where you can basically eat, in a way that would, appeal to your taste buds, then follow me on Instagram at IamAwakened_chosen1, all right? And with that being said, man, I want to leave y'all as I came, man. I want you guys to always be aware, because to be aware is to be alive. And as always, peace, family. Peace meaning positive energy always creates elevation. Ashe.